us another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I'm sorry. It's official, guys. It's official. It is. Breaking news, obviously. A lot of stuff coming in over the last couple of hours, and we're going to just take some time to digest it. Shout out to everyone who's watching. First of all, I'll give apologies. Tom would be here, but he's got a family emergency. So I'll just relay the information that he's passed on to me. But I've spoken to him about the news that's come out. Obviously, you've seen Fabrizio, Mike Keegan, Ben Jacobs, and the like have all come out and said that Sheikh Jassim and Qatar have dropped out of the race to buy Manchester United. And so Jim Ratcliffe has effectively won because of his minority deal, which is due to be ratified by the club in the coming days, with the board willing to having to vote on the situation for a 25% minority share. That is the news coming out. Obviously, I've got the Fabrizio post there, exclusive. Sheikh Jassim has had first given the Glazers to buy the Manchester United. So obviously, Sheikh Jassim, I think, presumably hearing, because obviously, as Tom broke in the last stream that we did, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we discussed the minority stake involvement, and whether or not Sir Jim would actually, Sheikh Jassim would actually react to the situation. And you know, and they did, and we were wondering whether they were going to react. I presume they got wind of the fact that the Glazers were actually considering Sir Jim Ratcliffe's deal. Sheikh Jassim, from Fabrizio and Ben Jacobs, others offered hundreds of millions more on top of the offer, but the Glazers refused. They declined, and we'll obviously get into more posts as we talk about what it is the Glazers actually declined, because it's actually insane what the Glazers declined. I'm lost for words here. I really am. I mean, big up Ilyas in the chat, man. From Zerko, I'm not interested in. I mean, I tweeted outside. I've said rest in peace, Manchester United. I don't disagree with that, because you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you're going to compete at the highest level in modern football, you have to basically be owned by billionaires. It's as simple as that. You have to be owned by billionaires. And even though Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a billionaire, the minority offer effectively keeps the Glazers at the club. Now there are talks, and we'll come to some other tweets where there's talks about him having, although he's a minority stakeholder, him having sporting control and various different things, which I call cap on, by the way. Giles says, sounds like it's done on Ratcliffe. Yep, done deal. Kevin Jones, if Ratcliffe thinks United fans are going to accept him, he's absolutely, well, there's a lot of obviously anger on Twitter and social media. I'm not sure what local fans will think. I think there are certain, maybe more local fans that think, well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in the door. I mean, I'm going to be honest. If I didn't know about Qatar at all, if there was no Qatar, at all. There was no other bidders, and this was the only bid. And this happened like a year or so ago. I might have been like, you know what? I'll take this because there was not even, because back then there wasn't even a thought, even idea that the Glazers would even sell some of the club. So if you'd spoken to me a year plus ago, I would have been like, you know what? Okay, fair enough. Let's see what happens. But because the Qataris showed their hand with what they could give this club, and because Sir Jim's offer of, because that's what the key here. Sir Jim's offer of a minority stake is ultimately what has led to the downfall of United and also the Qataris withdrawing. It's as simple as that. It's the minority stake because essentially Sir Jim Ratcliffe has overvalued Manchester United. He said the Qataris like, listen, 5 billion has been or bust, that's it. Sir Jim has said, you know what? I can't afford to buy the full club, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to overvalue the club, and I'm going to do that by saying we're going to give you effectively 2 billion for 25% of the club. So if the club is worth 2 billion, 25%, then it basically means the club is valued at just under 8 billion overall, which is more than this will pay. So the Glazers thinking, well, in order for you to buy us all out, you've got to give us, essentially, you've got to give us 8 billion. That's what you give us. But for me, it's a dark day. And this is the thing, is like, I was never pro for Jim or Qatar if it meant getting with the Glazers and having a complete reset and it was a full takeover. But from what I see now, I see a situation where Sir Jim has been baited into, because he needs to get his foot into the door, to give money over to the Glazers, who will no doubt use this to stay in the club. And frankly, in probably a couple of years' time, will probably renegade on their promise and will probably still be there. Sir Jim Ratcliffe gave the Glazers a lifeline to stay at Manchester United Football Club. This is a dark day, arguably the darkest day in recent Manchester United history. I'm not going to lie. I'm devastated. And if I'm honest, guys, I almost don't even care what happens to the rest of the league now. The club. The club is a mess. Ownership is a mess. Leadership is a mess. And on the field, we're a mess. So, you know, even if we win games, I'm just like, what's the point? Because I know that, like, this isn't going anywhere. Because with the games and football aside, you think about the stadium, you think about the training facilities, you think about the women's team, you think about the community, you think about all these different things. All these things are going to be lost because I don't know, guys, and you know, and this is going to be there because I just want to do this show as like a react to comments. Tomorrow we're going to have a proper full emergency hangout live call in where you guys can come in and basically, I will say tonight, just because it's quite late, but tomorrow we are going to have an emergency hangout where we're going to have the live open the call-in lines, because I know a lot of you guys want to vent. But this is arguably the worst day in recent history, because obviously nothing surpasses Munich. But certainly in recent history, this is because you look at Newcastle, you look at, and here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. The thing is that I know for a fact, well, okay, I won't say no for a fact, but I know, or would you be surprised if the Qataris go and buy Spurs, go and buy Liverpool? You wouldn't be surprised. They take the money and they go, hey, we'll give that money to, because fans don't have it now. So yeah, give it to Spurs, give it to Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised. And then suddenly City, Newcastle, you know, ahead. You know, and as much as Arsenal have their all Americans, Arsenal seems to at least be run these days now semi-competently. It's done, man. It's done. It's done. It's done. John Wagner says the Glazers are taking Manchester fans on an eternal one-way trip up Brokeback Mountain for cheek clapping at the gates of hell. Bro, it's over, man. It's over, Don. It's over. It's over. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna support Manchester United because I will, but if I'm honest, like, any emotional attachment I had directly to the club is gone now. In my opinion, is dead. Like, yes, I'll be happy if United win. Yes, I'll be annoyed if United lose, but any kind of emotional attachment or any real idea that this is kind of my club is gone. Because realistically, guys, it's not our club. If it was our club, they would, and this is the thing, with Ratcliffe, is that he was rejected by Barca. He was rejected by Chelsea. Presumably, why? Because they looked at this guy, and these fans don't like him, because they looked at this guy and was like, we don't feel that this guy has the best interests for our football club. The Glazers were like, we don't give a crap who about the fans, about the community, about anything like that. We just care about money. So the reality is, so it's almost like the biggest indication. I'm like, you know what? It's not my football club anymore. It's not. It's just a cash cow for the Glazers. That's all. That's all Manchester United is. I would more than happily support a Manchester United team that's a successor that takes the legacy of United, and this whatever this is right now is just important in the gutter. I know United fans in Manchester did that when the Glazers came, and big up them, and I might actually start covering some of their stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, Manchester United Football Club, they're dead now. They're dead. Today, the rage is real. It definitely is. J2S West Manchester 2014. Yep, gone. We are big club only name. Yeah. Bro, if like I said, if Qatar get it, I mean, I don't think United are going to be relegated. I don't think we're going to be relegated, but mid-table mediocrity, yeah. Absolutely. I see Manchester United going down the way. What I would say is the way of an Everton. Mid-table mediocrity, poor management decisions, poor player recruitment decisions, and then just slowly but surely slipping down the table. That's what I see. That's what I see. James, what about Dr. Football? We're going to come to that, but Ben Jacobs, who's also been good on this. Ben, big up Ben and Mike Keegan. But it looks like possibly they're looking at maybe Paul Mitchell, who, to be fair, is a decent director of football. But I'm still fuming. Fabrizio, just quick more. If everyone can see that. So let me have a look. Yes. Okay. So as you can see, exclusive story as much as Glazers informed of Sheikh Jassim's decision. He has withdrawn from the process. So obviously the Glazers are now he's withdrawn. Final bid understood to be almost double than 3.5 billion market valuation. So that basically the final bid. This is insane. This is insane. Think of it. Let me just say. So the final bid by Sheikh Jassim, the Qataris, was because the market valuation in Manchester was 3.5 billion. The Glazers wanted 6 billion, supposedly. The final bid was almost double the 3.5. So that means the final bid was essentially almost 7 billion. Almost 7 billion. We thought the Glazers only wanted $6 billion US dollars. That was the rumor. So the Glazers rejected effectively 7 billion, and then there was an additional 1.5 billion extra invested. 8.5 billion, and the Glazers were like, nah. Guys, I'm there's a part of me now that really, really doubts the Glazers want to sell this club. And by that, I mean Glazers, I mean Joel and Avram. Because I don't know how you can reject almost 7 billion with additional 1.5 billion of investment in a club. I don't get that. I thought maybe it'd be 5.5, etc. 5, maybe that's why. At the end of the day, how can the Glazers reject a almost $7 billion bid? 7 billion. I don't think I generally don't think that I don't think they were going to, these guys were going to sell. I don't think so. I think you know, I don't want to be conspiracy theory, and obviously when Tom comes on we'll talk about it, but I just have a feeling that, to be honest, this was always part of the plan. It's just that I thought that the Glazers were using Jim to get Qatar a better deal. That's what I thought. I thought it was that. I thought maybe, you know, they're using Jim to get more money out of Qatar. But this is ridiculous amounts of money. So I think probably what happened was the opposite. The opposite happened. The Glazers wanted to stay, and they wanted to use Qatar to get Jim to offer more money for a minority stake. That's what I think, you know, because they rejected they weren't interested in he didn't have enough money for the full takeover. They were considering giving it to him when he said that he would only acquire 69% of the club but keep them there. And that's the key thing here really is that the fundamental difference between Sheikh Jassim and Jim was the Glazers staying fundamentally. So after the Premier League, so after the FA Cup, Dubinsky City dunked on us. Remember, they were close to announcing him. They were close to announcing Jim. They were very, very, very close to announcing Jim as owner. But then Sheikh Jassim made this bid, and it was like, ooh, okay, we're not sure now. We're not sure, because the valuation now, he's matched it kind of, so we're not sure. So I know, I think that they wanted this. I think they wanted this. Right, it's just another Glazer, says J2S. If Jim does get sporting control, we're getting new director of football and a new CEO for sure. Also, there'd be funds for transfers. There's also plans to move the debt, but there's some good news. Jail, I don't believe it, man. We'll see. And obviously, I'll read some of the reports, but if I'm honest, right now, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know, I let's see what happens if he gets sporting control, because you know, you're the minority. I don't know. It's weird for me that you're the minority shareholder, but you have sporting control. I find that bizarre, personally, and you know, all this money, you know, to remove the debt, to buy out the Glazers. Where's money coming from? Is this money? Is he going to leverage Ineos? Is this money going to be put on Ineos? I don't know. I generally don't know. But you know, the British press will be happy because they've got, you know, put the Manchester back in Manchester United or some crap like that. He went from 100% to 70%, then 50% of the Glazers staying on with 10% each now. Yep, exactly. Big up Matthew, man. Hope you're doing well. Big up, man. He's not getting any control, Charles. Goes, yeah, so awesome. I don't know. I don't know. Rob says, hi G, not great news. Looks like it's over to Jim. Glazers are just greedy. They should have took the money and run. I know. I'm not buying another United shirt or going to another United game. I'll just say that out now. You know, I was, because fun enough, I was thinking about maybe I should have, but no United shirts or United games. I'm not. I'll just say that right now. That's the only. This is pre-bought before. No more. They're not getting a penny from me. They're not. No one knows about what is the offer and what's the gym. Yeah, and the thing is, Joel, that's the problem. That's the problem, is that Sheikh Jassim was always clear what he was going to do. Jim was not. And the reality is that throughout this whole process, the Glazers have not been transparent. I don't know how transparent Jim is going to be. How we'll see. Is he going to be hands-on? Is he going to be involved Is he going to come to the stadium? Is he going from the fans, or is he just going to back off and just basically be another Glazer? Because that's what I think personally. I don't have any hopes whatsoever. Now, don't get me wrong. If like 3 years from now, we're a functional team, we've got a good sporting structure, and we're competing Premier League, Champions League, I will hold the L. I will go. I'll be the first one to say, you know what, my club is back. It is what it is. And obviously, as we've seen with the running of Qatar, it with PSG, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Qataris coming would necessarily do a good job. Although that said, PSG still basically dominate their league. So Jim owns Nice, and Nice are trash. Think of that what you will. Can the Glazers still take dividends out in the club? Probably. I mean, they're still majority shareholders, so I'd imagine so. Ravies, we lost the club. Nice is finished. Big smash the like button, guys. I mean, subscribe if you're new. Consider becoming a member as well to support the channel. It's weird because I've had the best news this week. I've had such good news this week, and yet there's been so much bad news around me. Like, I've had personally good news, but there's been such bad news around me. You're going to see more content for me. That's the first week because a lot of my exams and things are out of the way. So I'm going to have a lot more free time now to do streams, previews, all the rest of it. So expect more content here and on my second channel, Red Marvel, as well from now on. But man, guys, this is just not the news that I wanted. It's really not. Nice fans hate him. That's all. Says it fell with a small fish in a pond. Now he has a big fish in open sea. Exactly. He does. He does. How will he use it? I don't know. How we use it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yep. I heard that James Monaco to buy Inter Milan. That's interesting. Probably will end up dominating the Serie A league then. Yep. So good United fans getting better. Yeah. I'd be happy to get relegated if we got rid of the leeches. We're not getting relegated though. That's the thing. As bad as United are, we're not going to get relegated. It would just be mediocrity. That's it. We'll just be mediocrity. Maybe are we good enough to I'd say mid-table mediocrity is what I would say. Maybe the occasional cup, maybe the occasional venture in the Europa League, Conference League, but that's as far as it goes. I wouldn't be surprised if 2-3 years from now, United are celebrating progress by winning the UEFA Conference League. Apparently, somebody wanted 6.4. Well, that's what they got, though. That's what they got. Like, if this tweet is anything to go by, they got, if it says final bid almost double the 3.5 billion market. If this is true from Fabrizio, that's almost 7 billion. Sheikh Jassim had committed an additional initial amount of over for Manchester United. It was ready to find new stadium plans, new training center facilities, buy players, city into regeneration projects. All down the drain. All down the drain. All down the drain. All down the drain, guys. New stadium, new training facilities, buy players, city community regeneration projects, all down the drain. All down the drain. What are we going to get from the Glazers and Sir Jim? Oh, no. Nonsense. This is what I'm saying. We have no clue what this is. Sir Jim Smart has beaten Qatar twice now. I mean, he won the war. I agree with you now, but now he's got a greater war. His greater war is how is he going to win over the Manchester United fan base? Although I suspect fans are still going to go to the games, buy the merchandise. It doesn't really matter for the average fan, I think. But like I said, I've seen his management of Nice, and he's not been clear fundamentally throughout this whole process, unlike the Qataris, as to what he wants to do. So I don't have any expectations for him with the Glazers or Manchester United Football Club as a whole, quite frankly. And I anticipate it's going to get worse. Qataris nearly went, well, according to what they did, Bruno Fernandes and his Yellow will end up playing manager Trashford as the assistant. Together, they'll hand us the final nail under this regime. But they should. I mean, we're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get relegated. We won't get relegated. But we are going to be mediocre and mid-table. We are going to be mediocre and mid-table. And I feel like mediocrity is even worse. I'd rather we either be really good or crap. Because if we're crap, then I'm like, you know what, we're a crap team and I can just take it. If we're really good, great. But when you're mediocre, when you're neither here nor there, it's like, it's just, it doesn't give anything. Like being a mid-table team, because at least when you're battling, like in a sick way, at least if you're battling for relegation, it's like you're playing for something. There's a sense of purpose behind it. And obviously, if you're on the other side of the table and you're playing for trophies and top four, etc., then you're playing for something. When you're mid-table, like when you're not crap, but you're not great, you're playing for nothing. Being mediocre mid-table is the worst thing to be because you're not in anything at all. You're not. The Glazers never had any intention to leave. Yeah, I have a feeling. Qatari lost the race. They're not going to win. It shows. I don't think. Yeah, I agree with that. I generally don't think that they were 100%. I don't think. Glazers need to be sent to the Phantom Zone like General Zone. I wish someone needs to get that technology. Someone get that technology and send them to the Phantom Zone, man. Like the vid, guys, if you're new. Like the video and subscribe if you're new, please. Thanks again. We're crossing 4K. Let's on the road to 5K, guys. On the road to 5K. To be honest, I'll take everything the journalists say with a pinch of salt because they haven't been right about the whole process. Nah, I mean, Ben Jacobs, Mike Keegan. I think I think it's the end game now, David T. I know, but these are not like, I'm not talking about all these Twitter supposed in the know people. And to be honest, I'll be honest, David T, as if you remember the show that me and Tom did, we said that this minority stake is something that the Glazers are looking at. And when Tom said that, and when people saying that the Glazers are looking at this minority stake, I almost felt it was game over. Because we've got to remember, the Glazers, it wasn't just for sale only. It was like, we'll take minority investments. And, financially, it makes sense. I can't hate from the finance point of view, because at the end of the day, Sir Jim has valued the club at effectively 8 billion, if you think about it. He's valued the club at 8 billion because he said, hey, here's $1.82 billion dollars for 25% of the club. I will give you the rest later. So he's valued, so he has valued the club more. And Sheikh Jassim and the Qatar do not value Manchester United at 8 billion. Simple. People need to start cancelling their MMC. I mean, I don't have an MMC subscription, and I don't have Sky either. Reuters says Qatar ready to pull out. I mean, it's done. It's done, Mohammed. It's done. It's done. It's done, buddy. It's done. I don't want to generalize, but just say no to American owners. I mean, Naka should be pinned. Although, to be fair, Arsenal's owners at least seem to have kind of gotten better. But that's the only example that I know. Every other American owner has just been dog crap. Radcliffe out. Man, that's going to be trending now. Radcliffe out. Radcliffe out, man. Radcliffe out. That we're at a time now where he's not even in, and people are going to be saying Radcliffe out. Not giving that a chance, constantly gone backwards. Word. Never told us fans and plans to the club. I'm gonna put the Manchester back in. Exactly. What does it mean? I'll put the Manchester back in Manchester United. What does that mean, man? What does it mean? What does it mean? And like I said, and as I think Maestro says, Barcelona and Chelsea immediately rejected the bid. I know that, but you have to understand, Chelsea and, well, with the consortium that were there and Abramovich and the Barca fans, they care about their football club. They don't see Abramovich and the Barca board don't see Barca as just a cash cow. They generally want to, so much so that Barca are in debt, because they generally want to see Barca succeed. The Glazers only see United as a cash cow, nothing more. That's it, nothing more. Any positive spin from Jim is fake. We've all lived through the Glazers, but yeah, exactly. 4-4. Exactly. You know, I'm hearing about, you know, poor Mitchell, you know, and in fact, let's quickly go for some of these tweets, actually. Let's quickly go for some of these tweets. So I'm going to quickly, because I'll quickly switch from Fabrizio to probably Ben Jacobs, because Ben Jacobs has, you know, saying a few things. So, so Jim Ratcliffe is now ready to buy 25% Manchester United in the next days after Sir Jim left the deal. Manchester United board will vote on 25% stake bid the next days. Jim Ratcliffe was wanting sport. Jim Ratcliffe wants. So Jim Ratcliffe wants sporting control and future major ownership after initial 25%. So he wants it. Cool. I want to be a millionaire too. Doesn't mean I'll get it. Like, yeah, you got 20 months. You want sporting control? Nah. I won't be surprised if he doesn't get it. So there you go. Let me quickly switch over to Mr. Jacobs, who is also seemingly giving us more info on the actual minority deal. And fair enough. And what I would say for Ben Jacobs is that he's been one of the few people that has not been like gun-ho. In fact, let's read his tweets. Let's have a look at Ben Jacobs' tweets. Where's he? Let's go from the. Let's have a look. Okay, I'll start from here. Bit more influence to Jim Ratcliffe's withdrawal from the process. Understand this has been coming for some time. Okay, but it follows additional and advanced new. So this has been coming for some time, but it follows additional and advanced new negotiations. JIM bid almost 6.5 billion. So this is the thing. So we were constantly told, oh, Qatar not going to make the 6 billion valuation. So JIM bid almost 6.5 billion for the club, plus pledge investment, which increased from 1 to 1.7 billion. 6.5 billion USD. That's almost 6. That's probably just over 6 billion sterling. Although Jassim's withdrawal doesn't guarantee Ratcliffe's victory, sources indicate Inos have made significant progress on a deal to buy 20% with eventual long-term view to control. It is normal as reported many times to hear from the loser first in this type of takeover. Jassim's withdrawal is in part down to frustration with the process, but it comes just as Ratcliffe has found a breakthrough as well. Let's have a look. So Jim Ratcliffe valuation is just over 1 billion more than Sheikh Jassim. This is to be expected with Ratcliffe looking for smaller stake to begin with. Jassim just valued the club at almost 6.5 billion. Ratcliffe problem value is 7.5 billion. And this is what effectively I'm saying, guys. Like, essentially, Sir Jim is prepared to pay more than Qatar. It's just that he's giving an initial smaller stake and probably borrowing it to get it. As Jim says, Ratcliffe has been extremely hands-on and will also be with Manu FC. Okay. Inos also looking at Paul Mitchell as a possible sporting director and expect significant say, even as a minority investor. Expect whether they'll get it remains to be seen. Just look at Arsenal. Sources close to Inos insist this new approach was the only way to get a foot in the door and meet the Glazed valuation. Ratcliffe has impressed those running the process with his engagement to get a deal done. And I think that's the difference, guys. The difference fundamentally is that Sheikh Jassim wants 100% control. And the only thing I can say to the Qataris is that maybe they should have done the same thing that Sir Jim did and said, you know what? We'll buy a minority stake, maybe 50%, 40%, and done it that way. But at least they would have had the money to be able to buy them out fully. But I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have done it still. I don't know. Let's have a look. Is there anyone from Ben Jacobs? Let's have a look. Can confirm Sheikh Jim was withdrawn from them as a process for their final and advanced talks. Obviously, group offered double the valuation and market value, and feel the Glazers valuation is outlandish, which I agree with, because the United is not worth that and won't be worth that in about a decade. That's the funny thing about this whole thing, is that the Glazers, this club is not going to be, with the way that we're going to go downhill, the club is not going to be worth anywhere near it is now. Sheikh Jassim's withdrawal happened in the last few days, and the group declined to officially comment, citing confidential restrictions, but have confirmed they've withdrawn. Anything else? Further, for Ben, sources indicate Ratcliffe's winning stake is likely to be ratified in a board meeting next week after significant break over the last 2 weeks. 90 of our nation aware of this and in part informed their withdrawal. So the reality is that not only did the Glazers reject the Sheikh Jassim bid, but hearing the fact that the 25 stake was going to be ratified, they're like, you know what, we've lost, we're resigning, we're putting out. Let's have a look. Further, this Ben Jacobs, as in fairness to the guy, he's one of the few people that didn't basically ride the Qatari bandwagon and didn't say Qatar favorites Qatari in. He was always kind of like, let's see. So I trust the dude. More on Sir Jim Ratcliffe's when he wants to offer around $1 billion. A breakthrough occurred last month when Ratcliffe restructured his bid. It will now be put for board approval next week. Ratcliffe, yeah, the hands-on shit. Ratcliffe learned lessons from the Chelsea process, where he entered late with Clearlock Bowley already in exclusive period. This irked key figures at the Rain Group. This time, Ratcliffe acted differently. His belief all along has been relationships with those running the process are almost as important as the finances. So basically, the guy's a snake. The guy's a snake. Man. Jeez. Shout out RDS. Thank you, Detroit, man. Big T. If Jassim is really out, it's Jim's plan. I'll stick with the Glazers only. I have to give Jim a chance by default, not wanting Glazers only. Like I said, bro, I have zero expectations. And big up Mike, obviously for ORDS. Damn, yep, it's over. It's over. Magpies is back, man. Weak fan base. AC Milan, Ajax, Real Madrid, Barca will never accept this. Those fans have rioted them to say and kicked it. Yeah, they would have. They would. You see what's happened to AC happened to Ajax, although AC Milan, I mean, I don't know. There's a mess still there, but Ajax, man, look at it. To be fair, Nice are currently in second, 1 point on top. We would take that. I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't disagree with that. Although last season they had from what I gather, they didn't have a great season last season, and at all. So, and PSG are garbage right now. But yeah, I don't know. I just have zero expectations. Lee K says, so you trying to tell me he has the money to buy 75% of United shares, build infrastructure plus players, and yet pay the debt in like 3 years, and yet he's struggling now? Yeah. And this is in response to Big T. This Lee K's comment is basically what I would say to that. I don't know, prove me wrong, but it's like you valued the club at 7.5 billion. So you're going to pay 2.5. So you're telling me, so where are you going to get the money for the rest, Chief? Where? Because you didn't have enough money to compete with Qatar. So clearly you don't have the money. So what? You're going to leverage? You can't leverage buyouts anymore. So what? You're going to put your club Inos in debt? And you're going to build the infrastructure? And you're going to invest in the team? Nah. Nah. Come on. So realistically, were the Glazers expecting 10 billion from the Qatars, or why the heck would they reject 7 billion? I think Sir Jim, Mike, Avram and Joel didn't want to leave. Simple. I think Avram and Joel didn't want to leave, and Sir Jim gave them the option not to leave. Okay, they didn't want to seize control because they have apparently some attachment to the club. Which by all means, which I mean, if you're Avram and Joel, my advice would be to not even set foot at Manchester United ever again. That'll be my advice. Not to be seen in public near Manchester United ever again. This is the end of China. Yeah. Like I said, mediocrity, man. Mediocrity for Manchester United, nothing more. Mid-table madness. There's nothing. We're done out here. United are actually finished. I don't know what there is to say, really. United as a football club are actually finished right now. Let the spin begin. Ryan Gloria says it was a bit fun to speculate, wasn't it? Wouldn't be shocked if Jim, maybe even West Ham. I didn't think about West Ham. Yeah, West Ham. Any place that basically has a stadium, by all means. So Jim got to do something. We might do it. I don't know. Michael, he's on a go, which has been we're going for a week. Yeah. Mike's a Liverpool fan. Just speculating. Jim wants. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, isn't this why they stayed? There's a possibility that the Glazers are thinking, you know what? We see a Super League coming soon, and we're gonna somehow get money from that. That's what I think, because as it stands now with the intense competition, I can't even see United getting UCL football. You know, if we don't get UCL football this year, we're gonna take a hit. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to Glazers now, because they've effectively got 2.5 billion worth of investment from Sir Jim, who will do sweet FA as far as I'm concerned. Like he probably will do sweet FA. Like I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling he'll do sweet FA. Jay says I can't bring up that comment. I said if Jim Rat wins, I'm done. I'm not watching United games anymore. It's gonna be difficult for me, buddy. Because says pop those bottles down. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of Chelsea fans are celebrating. Just make sure that you finish above us this season. That's all I'm saying. After you guys spent a bill. Investor Talk says Glazers never want to sell. Now they just want more of the futuristic benefits, or supposed futuristic benefits. Another theory. Big up Jarvis, man. Hope he's doing well. I hope you're doing well. Well, probably not, actually. Another theory why the Glazers are staying because of future TV. Yeah. Just we all know what's gonna happen. Gonna get some flashy signs, maybe a new director to try and attract fans. You can feed someone the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, in one way, it's good that it's happening now, because because I know we're not going to buy anyone in January. So the anger will last a lot longer, I think. This is a shame for Qatar. Yeah. Milan Lab says, nice work, keep the good job. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, man. Thank you. I don't know if you came from Roy's channel, so big up Rossonari TV. Like I said, if you guys are new, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5K subscribers. Hopefully 10 someday. So yeah, just continue supporting the channel if you're new, and considering, remember, like I said, I am doing an open emergency hangout / call-in tomorrow, where we'll get people on to sort of just anyone live call in to discuss. So we'll get you guys onto the show tomorrow to basically just break down this awful news, in my opinion. There's always hope, and like I said, I'm happy to take an L if in 3 years' time Sir Jim is in charge and we have Champions League, Premier League, we're competing. If that happens, I'll happily take an L. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, shout out. But I just have a feeling that I'm not going to be. Qatar, I'm going to take this lightly. Watch them. Yeah. Hold against Layers. Qatar went above and beyond. Some of those fans blame them for not paying. Yeah, I know. Johnny, will Eric Ten Hag stay at your Manchester? As far as I'm concerned, I suspect his job will be safe. I suspect his job will be safe. And why wouldn't it? The Glazers still have majority control. Like I'll wait and see if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in control in quote sporting decisions, but the Glazers are still in control of the majority of the club. People need to remember this. So as far as I'm concerned, they have the majority of the decisions. That includes who comes in, who doesn't. I don't even have that. I've stopped, but yeah, all of this stuff. Yeah. I've not bought kids. I'm not going to go to stadium. I don't know this stuff. So, but at the end of the day, to be honest, Colin, I'll be honest, Colin. Like, I just think that the Glazers, they don't care. They don't care. And they have enough. And United they have enough. I mean, you could boycott sponsors as well. But we'll see. We'll see, because they must know that the backlash from this is going to be immense. So we'll see what happens, because they must know that if they set foot in Old Trafford or involved in any United film, that the backlash is going to be bad. They probably don't care, but they must know that. They must know that. Eric Ten Hag is about to get a new contract, so yes, he'll probably stay. Aspect, who's a Chelsea fan, says, "Give Sir Jim time, guys." What are these Chelsea fans coming out, man? Guys, you guys have literally dropped £1 billion, and you're currently in the bottom half of the table. We need to show something. We all need to stop moaning. Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm a small YouTuber, I'm a small YouTuber, but if anyone's planning to organize anything big, protest or the like, I am happy to be a part of it. I've said that several times, that I don't go watching to Manchester United games, or buy merchandise, or anything for that matter. From today, Manchester United is dead to me. I'm not wasting. Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, it's an emotional cutoff, man. And obviously United, but like, seeing people be like, "Oh yeah, I don't like the Marcus Rashford did this, and oh Bruno is that, or blah blah blah," as if that actually matters, So Jim got 30 billion to his name. He's not some poor owner who can not do things. I have no clue how much money is. Well, I mean, but then why did he not? So if that's the case, why did he not? Why did he not compete with Qatar? Why did he Why did he go from a full sale to a minority takeover? Like, and also, I mean, like I said, and also, is that him or is that Ineos? Is that him, as in he personally has that wealth, or is it Ineos as a company? Because Ineos as a company and Sir Jim are two different people. Because Ineos as a company would have to take on the debt and all the other stuff if that all that is coming from Ineos. And before that would happen, that would have to be agreed by presumably the shareholders or the board at Ineos. And I would be very surprised if the board of Ineos are happy to take on the debt of Manchester United. There's also the fact that Sir Jim also owns Nice. So what's going to happen to Nice? Is he going to stop? Is he going to continue investing in Nice? Kevin Jones, Gaze thought they would get 3 or 4 by bidding. Oh no, of course not. Of course not. Of course they wouldn't get it because they set the value too high. I'm seeing some Brexit fans because they didn't want to be on, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've seen a fair few of those, but at the end of the day, like I said, these are going to be the same fans that will complain about the team, the positions, stuff like that, and we should be this, United did the badge and stuff like that. Well, at the end of the day, I've said this several times, especially as someone who lives up in Newcastle. The Saudis came in, they changed the culture of the Newcastle football is completely different. It is a completely different is a completely different culture. Sound people running sport edition, investment in the training facilities, investment in the local community. The stadium is like you can't get tickets, it's packed all the time. Culture's changed. The reality is that the United that they think is going to always be around is not going to be around for much longer. Because at the end of the day, there's only so much failure. Because much like Liverpool and United, or Liverpool at least have got some success, it only takes a few generations for that to go, and it's already happening because most young kids are not looking to be Manchester United fans. So a few generations, United basically become a Leeds. Simple as that. Back when on the 90s, Leeds, Megas, we can't compete. Keeks, we need to stop filling a stadium. The sick thing is that Avram and Joel say they have a settlement as we wonder the Bosch. Crap them. I don't care about. I warned you, yes. I knew it day one stuff. I knew. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, Abdullah. Appreciate it. Just make sure you get to top table. Are we buying players in January? Says Gene. Probably not. Sorry, I'm probably not Gene. If I'm gonna lie, probably not. The fan base is so divided. Can even United to ask the one comment about the United? If the fan base put the pressure on instead of bickering, who we prefer? Yeah. But I think this is what happens, and I said this several times at the start. It was like when the transfer window was going on, is that people forget as soon as the game starts, we'll be talking about Rashford and Onana and stuff like that. I've seen more Onana is crap tweets than Glazers out tweets in the last couple of weeks. Okay, yeah, Onana is not a great start to United, but at the end of the day, is he the reason why we're this way? Onana is the reason why Manchester United are struggling. It's Onana's fault, is it? No, it's not. People still think that January will go to. Where's Tom? Tom is unfortunately attending a family emergency. So prayers with Tom. I hope he's doing okay. Daniel, what about the shareholders? They just got sued. They did somehow. They did. I know, because I bought them. In fact, let me have a look. Because I actually bought a few shares in United. I have a few shares in United. Let me see how they're doing. Let me see how it is. Let's have a look. Let's look at my shares. Oh, well, I'm up. Maybe I should sell them now. I'm up. Maybe I should sell them. Who knows? Just terrible, useless owners, man. Useless owners. That was last chance to come back to where they belong, and it's over. Big Nesh, by default, I do have faith in the Jim after looking at how his other sporting events and find out like Mercedes and these, as long as the Glazers go. Like I said, I'd rather just have zero expectations and then see what happens. I'll have zero expectations and see what happens. You're right about Mercedes, I think. But and Nice, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If, for example, in the next 3 years, he is given charge of sporting, we bring in Paul Mitchell, we establish a sporting structure. There's understanding and stability. We get key signings, important signings to support the manager. We do start competing more next 3 years. Then, yeah, I like I said, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, I just want United to be successful. If at the end of the day, Sir Jim comes in and does a job, and we get back to where we are, no United fan is going to complain. We'll go, yeah, we'll take the L. I'll happily take an L, of course. It's just that I don't see how that's going to happen with the Glazers in the club, considering their track record over the last 10, 13, whatever years. I'm trying to find positives now. I want to walk away from the club, but I've calmed down now. I cannot wait to see what sort of deal he has made with the Devils. That's why I'm still for fans. I mean, and this is a fair point on the German football thing, because if you think about it, and this is the thing, I don't know why we didn't push for this. When there was giving the fans some shares in the club, going to partial ownership. The reality is that, like, if fans actually owned half of the football club they did in Germany, the fans would have had a say over who was Manchester United, the new owner. That they would have. It is what it is. And says, do you take calls tonight? Not tonight, but tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a live call in. We'll probably start from 9 p.m. BST. Yeah, I'm just going to take in calls from the community. Anyone that wants to come in, and we'll just have a discussion, because it's it's getting a little bit late here in the UK. But yeah, we'll be doing a proper, I think, because right now it's very raw for a lot of people. And I even need to sleep on it. So I think tomorrow with a clearer head and probably a bit more information coming out slowly but surely, we'll be able to kind of have an idea as to what's going on. I'm seeing all these Chelsea fans atting me, man. Chelsea, like, jeez. The thing is. I'm just seeing a lot I'm just seeing a lot of I'm getting atted by and just seeing a lot but that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of rival fans that are gonna are gonna be atting us, and it's depressed, man. So it is what it is. We United have taken a lot of L's. I mean, I would love it. I would genuinely love it if I could have an international break where I don't have to go live about Manchester United and just not think about football for a while. We've had 2 international breaks. There's been drama after drama, bad results, news. First international break, you hear about Anthony, you hear about Sancho. Second one we hear this. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I got much detached from United when we sacked Mourinho. He had the club's best interest at heart. I mean, you can make an argument Ronaldo did as well. Ronaldo said, here's what it is. And we said, no player is bigger than the club. No player is bigger than the club. Well, how about no owner is bigger than the club? How about that? How about no owner is bigger than the club? Yeah, what I've heard is internet has gone into hiding. Yep, no new stadium, nothing. Anyways, Hala Madrid. Yeah, Hala Madrid, man. Hala Madrid. There's a lot of Hala Madrids coming in. Let's have a look. Remember that this is a staggered takeover, so Jim will eventually have control. Well, I know, I'm aware, but I just don't know where this 7.5 billion is going to come from. You know, because what if he's valued it at what 1.8 billion? If let me get my maths out, 25%, $1.8 billion. I think he's valued at. So 1.8 times 4, yeah. So he's valued at 7.2 billion. With Sheikh Jassim valuing it just under 6.4, 6.3, who knows? So basically, I just want to know where he's going to get the other 5.4 billion from. That's all I want to know. And also on top of that, clearing the existing debt. So you have 5.4 billion to buy the club, and then the money to clear the debt, and then the money to invest in the stadium and the training facilities, the women's teams, etc. Where's that money coming from? If you can tell me where that money comes from, that doesn't involve United getting into debt further, then I'm willing to give Sir Jim a glance. As it stands now, I don't know where that money's coming from. I don't think I'm much seems to my yeah. And Lulu, man, relax in chat, man. Relax in chat. I don't think I have a moderator. So everyone just relax, because I know people are annoyed and frustrated. So let's not like try and we've got a good community here. So let's everyone just try and just get along. Fabrizio, new Fabrizio post. Jarvis says new Fab tweet. I don't see one. Let's have a look. I'll just refresh it. Let's see what's he said. New Fab tweet. Yeah, I don't see a new Fab tweet. Yeah, it just seems to be the same stuff that we've covered. Ciao. Manchester United have no future under Glazers into Jim. Remember, yep, we discussed that. Yep, we have. Peter, I was a United fan on the 13th of October. Today, I am no longer that. Man, people are giving up on this club, man. Game killer. Glazers were never going to sell United. All they ever wanted was a free funding machine, and that's the Jim, and that's true. RDS link, and I'll jump on. Yeah, sure. I'll DM it you on Twitter. I'll DM it to you on Twitter. Because like I said, the full takeover thing will be. I think I'll be on Twitter actually. Let me just have a look. The full conversation thing is gonna be this. By the way, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Dylan, that in the Logan Paul thingy fight, that Dylan is disrespecting the sport or something. I don't know. Not that I care about that type of boxing. But let's have a look. Yosh. Okay. Yep. So Jarvis, I've just DM'd you the link on Twitter. So it should be in your Twitter DM. Um how do we know the rat wax show in a couple 3 years? What clause in the contract? Yes, we need to know more information. And hopefully we'll get more information in the upcoming days / hours. So Jim Ratcliffe is narrated, yeah, 2 days after. Oh yeah, okay, fine, yep. Right, let me bring my man Jarvis in to have a say. I think maybe first on the channel, so but obviously fellow United content creator as well. Jarvis, buddy,
Hey.
how you
Big up,
doing?
RDS. All right, big up. Oh,
Thanks,
what a day.
man.
Oh,
Oh,
what a day. Bad news.
uh,
Bad news all over the place.
no, it's not. It's not good, is it? It's not good.
No. We just did a show with Mick Ruby and Paul White and Mark on MUFC Realist TV.
And for those who are watching, head over to subscribe to MUFC Realist TV as well. So support the because
Yeah, thank you.
if we're going to do something about this, if anything's going to be done, there has to be collaboration between all Manchester United fans, because I hope, as I've said, that somehow this works. But I just don't know how it will.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I can say, really. But I mean, what are your thoughts on this whole debacle?
Yeah, of course I was gutted, obviously, at first when the news broke. But my instant thought was that this is just a I don't know, maybe some of the shareholders want to grab some cheap shares on Monday, and swoop up the market before then. Because the thing is, it has always been the end of the financial year.
Yeah.
Out this month, 31st of October. That's been the target, and we have been expecting the Glazers, the 9-2 Foundation to come in and do their thing. But now this hits. So I'm not sure what's going on. But, of course, Bloomberg is a very reliable source. They are well renowned in this economic environment. But Reuters came out a couple of minutes after and said something else. And I'm not sure if you got that Reuters article.
Was the Reuters article?
Yeah.
Let me see
if you can find it and put it on screen. It's very interesting because it leaves just a little shred of hope, at least, because Reuters is as well reliable as Bloomberg.
They post on their Twitter account, was it?
No. It's on their webpage.
Let me.
I can post a link here in the comments.
In the private chat. I might be able to.
Yeah, sure. I will do it in the private chat too. Sorry.
ATV says, ATTV says, we are done.
Yeah, and it's 8. Big up.
We will never see a title parade at Old Trafford again. I mean, it's not a great feeling, is it? It's really not. Let's have a look at this. So I'll quickly get that on, and we'll bring that up. The Reuters article here.
So it's posted 9:03 p.m. and it's by Ariban Sain, who is a really reliable journalist.
I'll quickly just get this because of
yes, a lot of pop-ups.
So let's quickly. Okay. Right, finally. Okay, so Reuters say Qatar Sheikh Jassim refused to raise $6 billion Manchester bid, sources say. Qatar family that controls Manchester United said they will not improve on his bid to acquire the Continental Club. The move leaves the remaining bidder for Inos chairman in a strong position. His offer to buy only 20% allowance when it goes to cash out, and it remains unclear whether he will clinch an agreement.
So basically, what he's saying, my take on that is because Bloomberg say that the Qataris has withdrawn from the bid, but Reuters are saying something different. Reuters are saying that they refuse to raise the bid. And this is approximately 2 hours after the Bloomberg article came out, and Reuters is as renowned in the financial forums as Bloomberg. So I'm not sure what's going on.
I mean, obviously Bloomberg and Reuters are reliable. Obviously Ben, Jacob, and like obviously saying that. I don't know. I'm more inclined to believe that it's a knockdown effect thing, and that probably the reason why Sheikh Jassim and Qatar offering more plus or minus withdrawing is because they know of this minority deal thing that's I think it's all linked, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised in the net we'll get an announcement of some sort in the next couple of days that Sir Jim is basically, effectively a minority investor in Manchester United, and that's going to bring involvement in stadium, etc., etc. But I mean, Albert says, "Please, Sheikh, come back to the table." To be honest, like people keep on saying this, but it's like I don't like. But why though? You know what I mean? Like it's like because the thing is that. In order for Sheikh Jassim, people say, "Oh, Qatar, the Glazers wanted 6.4 billion." It seemed I don't think anyone knows what the Glazers wanted truly. Oh, they wanted 6.4 billion. Oh, they wanted 6.4 billion. I thought they wanted 6 billion. I actually initially thought the figure was 6 billion. So the fact that the Qataris bid more than that surprised me. But I think the reality is it's simple: is that Sir Jim values the club higher than the Qataris do, which is why he gave a 1.8 billion valuation for 25% of Manchester United. So essentially, times by 4, that's $7.2 billion for Manchester United if he wants to buy the club outright.
Yeah,
that's more than the Qataris were never going to bid more than 7 billion plus for Manchester United.
Yeah, we talk about dollars now.
Dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't, especially given that they were going to commit further investment. They weren't. So I don't know. I don't know how they fund it. I don't know how this works with Sir Jim and Inos' other investments. But all I know is that like this. I personally can't see this end well, but like I said, Giles, I don't know what you think.
Yeah, going forward now we have the board meeting, but the board is basically the Glazers because they have the majority. So if they make up their mind and they accept a 25% bid from Ratcliffe, it's all over. Then that's the route that we will go. But as I say, the Reuters article says something different, that they haven't withdrawn from the bid. They have just refused to raise it. So let's see what's going on. We know that 4 of the siblings want to sell, 2 of them don't. So it's hard to say what the board will decide on the. But if Bloomberg is right, it's over. But going forward from here, we have something how to remove the debt. And I read the Ineos, like this was 22nd of September. I read that Ineos had a plan to remove 3/4 of the debt and bake it into the company Ineos. And the last quarter, they would use the revenues from Man United to pay it down. And their plan was to be debt free in 2025, I believe. I'm not seeing that happening. I can't understand how Ratcliffe will get his because he have 2 partners in Ineos, how he will get them to take on the debt, because it's a massive debt, even though Ineos is a big company.
Like I said, I agree. I don't, I'm more seeing United fans on Twitter saying, it's 3 years and, wait for the process. Like, and maybe there's a way, and someone explain it to me, but I don't understand how you can value the club at 7.2 billion, which means you have to pay that if you want 100%. You then have to then clear the debt. You then have to then have further money to invest in the stadium, the players, the squad, the women's team, the training facilities, etc. And I don't know how you are going to do this in 3 years.
Yeah, and you need the money to buy the remaining 26% to get the 51% majority.
And we know for a fact
the moment.
Go on.
And the moment he gets the majority, the debt is his, and he has to pay it down or get new deals on the loans. So I'm not sure what's going on, but we will have more clarity in the next couple of weeks, I believe, hopefully. But in a way, if he gets in a new director of football, we will have like 200-400 million to spend on players. So maybe it's a little bit better than the Glazers, but I'm not very optimistic about the future at the moment.
I think that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, what's scaring a lot of United fans is what's uncertain, because at the end of the day with Qatar were always clear about what they were going to do from the jump.
Yeah.
We're going to invest this amount in the stadium. We're going to invest in the players. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. So everyone knew where Qatar stood. They knew what they were going to do. The reality of Sir Jim is like, we don't know what Sir Jim is going to do. So if Sir Jim comes out and says, listen, guys, this is the proposal. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to how we manage. This is how the debt's going to be. This is how things are going to go. And I think some United fans might be like, you know what? Let's see how this goes. The problem, though, is that, one, the Glazers still here. Two, that's what people said when the Glazers took over. And three, there is uncertainty as to how Sir Jim and the like are actually going to engage the fans, the fan base, etc. This whole process. Are they going to be transparent, or are they going to, especially given that they're a minority shareholder, be as evasive as the Glazers are and be transparent and just basically just do stuff without really the fans and people knowing what's actually happening?
Yeah.
Ineos Sporting does have an earning of about 2.6 billion a year. Ineos Chemical as a company had a revenue about 61 billion. I think they would get a good interest rate on a United loan. Oh, not another loan, man. I see your point, Jar, but man, another loan. God.
But it's a good point. It's a good point from Yala. They will probably get a better interest rate on the gigantic debt we have, but it will be because they have paid. How much of an interest rate was it at the beginning? Like 25%, or
I think so. They must have paid it almost up to. It must be up to $1 billion now at this point in interest back, which is insane. It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. So I'm just exhausted right now. But I mean, like I said, for those, we are going to probably have a proper live in calling show to discuss things, and obviously as things come on. But I mean, final question of Jarvis. Where do you see right now? Where do you see the future of Manchester United?
That's a deep, long question, but I will keep it simple. And the future, I don't think much will change in the next 3 to 4 years, even if Ratcliffe come in, because the Glazers will still be the majority owner. So I think we will keep the walk in the desert for 40 years, as some people did long time ago. So I'm not very optimistic, but we will know more, because Ratcliffe needs to have some terms for the 25%. Like, for example, he will run the sporting department. That Glazers will just be like passive owners in a way, and with the intention that he will buy the 51% in the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. So for Ratcliffe to buy the next 26%, he needs control over the sporting department. And and maybe that will be good. He will get in a good sporting director. That will be positive, and maybe the club can start operating as a football club again. So maybe things will be better, but I'm not optimistic. But as you say, I hope they will prove me wrong, because I'm not optimistic about Ratcliffe.
I hope so too, buddy. I hope so too. Guys, thanks everyone in the chat for watching. Remember, if you're on this channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter. We are United X. Obviously, thank you, Giles, for coming on. Make sure you head over to the MUFC Realist channel and support the lovely United fans over there as well. It's going to be a long weekend, guys. It's going to be a long one, but we've got to stay united as United fans. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers. Peace.